I ran to a little stream, and I looked at myself. My face also was clean. I was clean. Clean after being loathsome for 10 years. Oh, why did he not pass by before? When my wife and children were alive, he would have cured us. Now, see, I'm buying things for my house, but I am all alone. Have you not seen him anymore? No, but I know that he is in the area, and that is why I have come. I would like to bless him once again, and be blessed by him, to have strength in my solitude. Zacchaeus lowers his head and is silent. The group breaks up. Some time passes. It gets warmer. The marketplace empties. The exciseman, with his head resting on one hand, is pensive, sitting at his desk. "Here is the Nazarene," shout some children, pointing at the main road. Women, men, sick people, beggars rush towards him. The square is empty. Only some donkeys and camels, tied to the palm trees, remain where they were, and Zacchaeus remains at his desk. He then stands up and climbs on his desk, but he cannot see anything, because many people have pulled off branches and are waving them joyfully, and Jesus is bending over sick people. Zacchaeus then takes off his garment, and having on only his short tunic, he climbs one of the trees. He goes up the large smooth trunk with difficulty, as his short arms and legs make climbing difficult. But he succeeds, and sits astride 2 branches, as on a perch. His legs hang from that kind of railing, and from his waist upwards he leans out as if he were at a window, and he watches. The crowds arrive in the square. Jesus looks up and smiles at the solitary spectator perched on the branches. "Zacchaeus, come down at once. I'm staying at your house today," he orders. And Zacchaeus, after a moment of astonishment, his face purple with excitement, lets himself slide down on the ground like a sack. He is so excited that he is hardly able to put on his clothes. He closes his books and cash desk with gestures which he would like to be very fast, but instead are very slow. But Jesus is patient. He caresses some children while waiting. Zacchaeus is ready at last. He approaches the master and leads him to a beautiful house with a large garden around it, in the centre of the town. A beautiful town, not much inferior to Jerusalem with regard to its buildings, if not to its size. Jesus goes in, and while waiting for the meal to be made ready, he takes care of sick and healthy people with such patience as he only is capable. Zacchaeus comes and goes, busying himself. He is beside himself with joy. He would like to speak to Jesus, but Jesus is always surrounded by a crowd of people. At last, Jesus dismisses everybody, saying, "Come back at sunset. Go to your homes now. Peace be with you." The garden empties, and the meal is served in a beautiful, cool hall facing the garden. Zacchaeus has done things in great style. I do not see any other relatives, so I think that Zacchaeus is single and lives only with many servants. At the end of the meal, when the disciples scatter in the shade of bushes to rest, Zacchaeus remains with Jesus in the cool hall. In actual fact, Jesus remains alone for a little while, because Zacchaeus withdraws to let him rest. But he comes back and looks through a slit in the curtains. He sees that Jesus is not sleeping, but is pensive. He then approaches him. He is carrying a heavy coffer, which he lays on the table near Jesus and says, "Master, they have spoken to me about you for some time. One day, on a mountainside, You said so many truthful things that our doctors cannot excel them. They remained in my heart, and since then I have been thinking of you. Then I was told that you are good and that you do not reject sinners. I am a sinner, Master. They told me that you cure sick people. My heart is diseased because I defrauded. I practiced usury. I have been a depraved fellow, a thief, hard on the poor. But now I have been cured because you spoke to me. You approached me, and the demon of sensuality and riches fled. And as from today, I belong to you, if you do not reject me. And to prove to you that I am reborn in you, I divest myself of the ill-acquired riches, and I give you half of my wealth for the poor, and I will use the other half to give back, multiplied by 4, what I got by fraud. I know whom I cheated. Then, after handing back to each of them what belongs to them, I will follow you, Master, if you allow me. I do want that. Come. I have come to save and call people to the light. Today, light and salvation have come to the house of your heart. Those who over there, beyond the gate, are grumbling because I have redeemed you sitting at your banquet, are forgetting that you are a son of Abraham, as they are, and that I have come to save who was lost, and to give life to those whose spirits were dead. Come, Zacchaeus, you have understood my words better than many people who follow me only to be able to accuse me. Therefore you will be with me as from now on. The vision ends here.